When a severe storm hits, hail and high-speed winds can cause excessive damage to your home. This can lead to blown-off shingles, broken windows, siding damage, and leaking inside. If you suspect your home has been hit with storm damage, contact CNN Construction today. We are a proud GAF Master Elite contractor, offering free exterior home inspection for storm-related damages. CNN is a reputable licensed roofing and general contractor working hand-in-hand with insurance companies and homeowners every step of the way through the difficult claims and restoration process. We will meet with your insurance adjuster to discuss the damages to your property, the value of those repairs, and the scope of work needed at your home. Our skilled team has you covered and will leave your home looking brand new. Give us a call today at 844-415-ROOF or visit our website at cnroofs.com for a free exterior inspection. CNN Construction. We find the solutions, not the excuses.
Hang on a second, guys. One second.
What up?
We've got to give a shout out to South Nashville Heating and Cooling.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Friend and supporter, show and proof. Also, the longest running sponsor of I Got Some Shit to Say, the podcast.
Absolutely. Look, man, South Nashville Heating and Cooling, where quality and craftsmanship come together. They've been doing this since 1985. That's almost 40 years of service. Expert designs, quality installations, superior service.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you something.
What's that?
Tell me.
I feel confident in the fact that South Nashville Heating and Cooling will keep me warm in the winter.
For sure.
It'll keep me cool in the summer.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, these middle months, you'll be comfortable even then.
Absolutely, dude.
Y'all know the deal, man. South Nashville Heating and Cooling. We love those guys. Y'all see the name. Y'all see the number. Tap in.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Always.
Damn.
It's I Got Some Shit to Say, the podcast, man. We're back like we don't stop, because trust us, we never do. All we do is work. Y'all know me.
Fuck you, Squints.
That's right, R.I.P.
Whizzle Fizzle.
Forever and always. Across the room, going long, I got
ChadArmesTV.com.
Stamped.
that guy. And on the end of the couch, I got security.
Mildred.
She here?
Shout out Mildred.
Man, I told you, Mildred don't
You're
leave
right.
the house.
You keep telling me. You keep telling me. I'm sorry. Guys, another special event is amongst us this evening.
Let's go.
One more getting checked off that list.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have none other than Don Tripp in the building.
Yeah.
True indeed. True indeed.
Let's go.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Am I looking at like all the?
You look wherever you want, bub. I'll do all that on the back end. You know what I mean? If you got a point to get across, you look at that one right here.
I should do.
If you talking shit, you look right there. But otherwise, we just in conversation, man. Just ride the wave.
I'm with it.
Don Tripp in the building. We appreciate you, Bubba. Appreciate you pulling up.
The pleasure's all mine. brothers.
Real talk. This is manifestation at its finest, Bubba.
Yeah.
When we tell this story all the time, but when we started this podcast, we had a list of 91 people that we wanted on this show. That list has dwindled down to 8. Marking you off of that list.
That's ill.
So, yeah, it's dope. Yeah, but it's been a long road. You know, we're 200 plus over here, bro. But
that's ill,
we're glad to have you, man. And especially,
congratulations.
thank you, brother. Congratulations to you as well.
I appreciate it.
Because this guy right here, as the whole world knows, has been on a fucking tear this year, boy. I don't know who the fuck pissed Don Tripp off this year, dog, but this boy going in.
Man, you know what? I see that a lot. I'm not. It's not that I'm like agitated. I guess if anything, I grew inspired. But I don't know. Like you can't really attribute it to a single person or a single event. What happened, man? I sat down and all my career, I never paid attention to the numbers. Like even right now, I can't tell you what my best performing video is or a song or whatever.
Yeah.
Not cause I don't have the information, but because I don't want to get sucked into that. So
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes when you find something that works, you don't know how to get away from it.
Facts.
And the last thing I ever want to do is be in the studio chasing a song or chasing a vibe or idea because it worked last time.
Yeah, I get it.
And you know, once you turn into that, you kind of lose integrity because you compromise everything that you stand for because you want to make sure that this is as popular as that. So I never really paid attention to that. But I sat down one day. I had been getting calls and shit from different distributors, And, you know, I start taking meetings. I'm a firm believer that it don't cost nothing to listen. So I'll sit down and hear anybody out. Now, whether I commit to whatever it is or not is a whole different ballgame.
Right,
but I sit and, you know, you can pitch to me whatever it is you're trying to sell, so to speak. And I sat down, and the one thing I gathered from all the meetings I took was the numbers. Like, they was keeping up with my numbers. And to be independent and to be doing the numbers that I've done prior to 2023.
Yeah.
When I started looking at those numbers, I just looked at it like, damn, I might be leaving money on the table. And I said that to say, you know, the way I used to record, used to give it so much thought. You know, we said I might do a tape a year, maybe 2 tapes at most. And I watched like a Gucci Mane interview. It was a clip, but he was like, you know, he independent, and, you know, why sit on the music?
Yeah.
You can, you know, you got the music, just keep putting it out.
Yeah,
and the one point he made that made sense, he was like, you know, all of that shit collectively those are still streams. And you know, when you go check like a Spotify, it say, you know, it say your all time streams.
Yeah.
It don't say, you know, this how many streams you got
This year, that year.
to,
Yeah.
right,
I get it.
or according to this many songs.
Yeah. Per project or anything like that. Yeah.
Those streams are collective.
Yeah.
So when I sat and I listened to that, I was like, that make perfect sense. And in real time, when it come to music, like, I think the less polished it is, the better. You know, if I sit and I second guess everything that I'm creating, then you know, it ain't fun no more. It ain't art no more. Now it's something else. You know, if you're a painter, you don't get to paint and then erase it all.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna paint. If you fuck it up, then, you know, either you can scrap it or you can keep it. And most times the shit that the people appreciate is the shit that you kept, even though it was flawed.
Yeah.
So I looked at it like that, and I'm like, man, fuck it. I'm just gonna do what I do. And, you know, if I put a record out that you like, then shit, that's great. I did something that worked. If I put a record out that you don't like, then that's great, because everything ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
And once I got into that mode, I just never stepped out of it. I just go in and record, and it's records, man. If you listen close enough, you hear my infant in the background. You might hear a baby monitor beeping. I don't give a shit.
But it's real,
Bro,
Right,
and
it's
that's what we love most about
Yeah.
it. Like, as consumers, Trip, like, to see your whole career, like the relatability that you've possessed as an artist, like, bruh, like, it's like we said it off camera before, like, and Chad mentioned to you that he's been a fan since Letter to My Son.
Yeah.
And I made a smart ass comment walking out of the room, like, haven't we all? Because in reality, man, like, that was everyone's like initial like introduction to Don Tripp. You know what I mean? Especially if you got it before the CeeLo joint. You know what I mean?
Raw and uncut.
Yeah.
And then when you break that down for us the way you just did, you know, I could only imagine that viral moment that projects you into like a whole different stratosphere as far as this shit went.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because what happened, I went from like my neighborhood knowing who I was to
absolutely.
Like, you know, I was in Arizona shortly after that took off, and I was in like a Wendy's or something. It was an Asian kid in there on a skateboard, and he turned around. He just kept staring at me. You know, we come from different worlds, so people paying attention to you like that is usually something up. So I'm like, you know, I don't really know this kid. I don't know how they rock in Arizona, so I don't know what's going on. So, you know, I'm trying to keep an eye on him because he's keeping an eye on me. And, you know, he stepped back. He turned around in the line, and he was like, man, I think I know you from somewhere. I was like, man, I ain't never been to Arizona. I don't know where you going to know me from.
Yeah.
And, you know, he turned back around, and he was in his phone. And he turned back around, and he had the Letter to My Son.
Absolutely.
And I was like, wow, that's crazy. I ain't, you know, because... You know, I'm not on TV, so, you know, especially at that was if anything, like the beginning of my popularity. Yeah. So, you know, that was crazy. But when that happened, that showed me that, you know, that there is a lane for me. Like, I don't have to be on TV. I don't have to be, you know, at all the awards or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lane. It's a space where I exist, and the internet just.
I believe that.
You know, when I first started, the only person I can think of that was like viral right then was Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
Okay, shout out Soulja Boy. He's probably watching.
Yeah.
Not really.
You never know.
He's the first
You
to
never
do it
know.
all.
But that was
He's the first to do it.
Well, I don't know about everything else, but I can't give him his credit with the internet though.
Yeah.
And
true that.
I'm a firm believer that again, everything's not for everybody. And when Soulja Boy popped, it was it was childish. It was something that didn't appeal to me, but I was just trying to understand why or how it appealed to so many other people.
Yep.
And like that was, I guess that was a way that Soulja Boy inspired me, because I'm watching and I don't get it. None of this is it don't really correlate to me. But I you see how so many children picked up on it so fast. And that's something that's impossible to do without the internet. The internet touches the whole world at once. In person, you can only be in one place at one time.
Facts.
The internet allows you to be everywhere at once.
Yeah.
And when I seen that, I said, man, I'm looking at these videos. It's a kid in the middle of the street, and he's just jumping with, he dressed how he dressed. But wasn't no like top of the line production to this. Like, it wasn't. You can tell there's not much thought to this. He had to have edited those videos.
He did, I believe.
Right. He used like Fruity Loops for the beats.
See,
and stuff.
so when I saw that, I said, you know what, man, my people have been telling me about this little flip camera. I don't know what they call it in real time, but it was like the first time they started making cameras like compact,
like a
and
4K camera. Yeah, I got you.
Talking about like the handy cams, the Sony handy cam joints.
I don't know.
Well, he said the flip. I know what you're talking about. Had a red button in the middle of it.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It wasn't nothing confusing about it.
Yeah, we had one at one time, Chad.
Man, I went and grabbed that. I don't remember what it cost. I don't remember how it ran. I just know I got it, and I played with it till I figured it out enough to film and upload it to a computer, and that was it from there. So after that, I figured that out. I said, man, I don't need a second person. I can pull this off. And, it took I recorded Letter to My Son in 2009, and it took off in 2011.
But you shot that on that flip camera?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Inside. Fun fact.
That's what it, that was like my confirmation. That let me know, I can do it.
Without all the bells and whistles. You can pull it off.
Exactly. And then, further along in my career, occasionally I get, I come to the crossroad where, people I'm working with or people I'm around when they feel like the only way we can get to the next level is to do some of the, the cookie cutter shit. I ain't never really been into none of that. And
what do you mean by cookie cutter stuff?
I mean, I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but it's like a fucking like a rapper starter kit. Yeah, I'm supposed to have a car to flash to you. I'm supposed to have jewelry to flash to you. I'm supposed to like wear all the designer shit. Right. Supposed to have like a popular bitch with me at all times. And all that kind of shit. And that shit just never worked for me. Like the idea just didn't sit well with me. When I first started, the thing was around that time. The thing was like the super chains, and before I became a father, the chain shit kind of appealed to me. And at some point it just didn't. And when it didn't, I ain't chase it. I just it is what it is. I don't like it. I ain't really into it. And then later on, like shit, even when I signed the record deal, they was offering like foreign cars and shit. I'm like, man, none of that really resonates. Keep all that. Yeah. I mean, one, because I got to pay that back. If I don't know nothing, I know that. But two, you gonna send me back to my environment with something that glow in the dark.
Facts.
You're gonna stick out like a sore thumb,
right? And the target you're gonna put on my back, pull up in East Memphis in a Lamborghini. I ain't gonna last long enough for my name to be something. So that never worked for me. But every so often, at this point, I'm set. I'm set in my path. But on the way to this point, it was a lot of times, I'd be like, well, maybe this is why I haven't progressed or made it to this certain level,
because you wasn't playing that
right. And then certain shit happened. I get offers for more money than signed artists make, and when I start when that kind of shit started happening, I'm like, all right, then that means I'm doing something right.
It means the real works.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It might take a little longer, might be, or I can't say it's more stressful because I don't know the stresses of, I don't know what you go through on a regular basis. I only know what I go through.
Right. Yeah.
So for the most part, I it let me know that I can do what comes natural, what feels right to me, and not lose while doing it.
Yeah.
Love it.
It resonates.
Right. So I look at myself like a Tim Duncan versus I don't much follow sports, but Tim Duncan is all fundamental.
He got rings though, dog.
Right.
Yeah.
He gonna
Got
dunk the
some
ball.
rings,
She
though.
got the bread. Fuck
He's
it.
definitely going to the Olympics with the other guys too. Like he's there. You know what I mean? I feel you.
He gonna dunk. He ain't trash talking. He ain't smiling. He ain't dancing. But he can play. You ain't gonna play with him.
It's so interesting the like course of your career Trip, like from the outside looking in, like us residing here right outside Nashville, and then like us us all kind of jumping on the Don Tripp train as soon as you drop Letter to My Son. Like we were all just like, boom, this dude's got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and we immediately was interested in your character and your catalog, etc.
Yeah.
But then when we fast forward to where you get associated so close associated with Lido.
Yeah.
And that's like home team type shit. So it's just like, damn, okay. So did you see Tripp and Lido drop a tape? And then it was like Tripp's like extended family type shit. You know what I mean? So, but we were constantly a cheerleader already. And then it's like the home team signed you, but it wasn't a signed deal or nothing like that. But
I understand what you're saying.
we acquired a talent that was damn near a home team vibe. Even,
That's like deeper than that. What the public can't see. Like me and Star, like family. Like it's not.
we see it. Like
it. Sometimes music is not related. Like music don't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And same for the the people around them. Like I know Star Mama. He know mine.
Yeah, I think it was Logan Garrett that told us about y'all's like personal relationship a little bit.
And it wasn't, we ain't sit down and say, hey man, like the song say, do you want to be best friends and shit?
Yep.
In real time, we just chill. We sat, we rocked, and from then we got a lot more in common than we thought. Although we two totally different people, somehow it worked. It's
that shit works.
Yeah, it be like it.
I think that's what. Yeah.
Man, in some cases, I'm easier for him to work with than most people, and vice versa. I don't understand it. I don't I don't care enough to like try to figure it out.
Yeah, don't question it. Just go with it.
Appreciate it. Yeah, because that shit is just
what a rare scenario though, bro. Like that shit don't happen every day. Trip.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? And then like luckily, based off the initial records we were introduced to with you, you were already like. It was like icing on the cake, bro. It was like the next because when we hear about Lido dropping something new and it's with who? Trip? Oh, you mean the same dude that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then from that moment on, right? But it set us up, dude, literally as consumers to be Trip fans from that moment, from Letter to My Son all the way up till now, like Chad was saying. And that's so dope about it because with or without Lido, I think we would have been in tune with the Don Tripp catalog.
Yeah, it just made it.
But it made
so
it
much better.
It made it that much better because our fucking, the hometown heroes got collaborative efforts with you, bro. 3 fucking part series. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, come on, dog.
I remember when it dropped on that Piff. I was like, oh my god,
shit. Yeah,
I was already getting your like solo tapes, Gorilla and all them on there.
That was one. Remember, like I said, certain moments, let me know that what I'm doing works.
Yeah.
I don't have to,
so one was the flip camera with Letter to My Son. That's kind of that opened up that, and the Step Brothers tapes.
The label was, man, they were so very against us making that tape. They didn't want us recording together. They didn't want us releasing together.
Why is that?
Damn.
You think?
I don't really know. Well,
I don't really think they're going to tell you, but what do you think?
A lot of the conflict was control.
Yep.
Like a lot of. Man, I'm an in-person kind of person, a direct kind of person. Like before we came in, my brother was like, is there anything you want me to tell them to stay away from?
Yeah.
And I told him, man, if you ask a question I want to answer, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, that's the best way to handle that, honestly.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's just how I am. So when it came to me dealing with a label, that made me more difficult to deal with because I ain't tell my manager, then my manager come tell the label I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit and tell you, no, I don't like that idea. I don't like it.
I'll tell you why if you want to know. I get it.
I ain't gonna wait till you want to know. I'm gonna tell you why right now.
Talk your shit,
I
Trip.
ain't into that. We ain't gonna do it. And I think one that hurt my my existence on a label, but 2, it helped my existence as an individual. And they told us not to do they told me not to do the Step Brothers tape. You know what? One of the reasons they were saying because Star was getting out of his
Cash Money.
Yeah, Star was getting out of his deal.
No.
Yeah, one of the reasons because Star was getting out of his deal, and they were saying, like it wouldn't be
that's Tripp's water, bro.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's Tripp's
I
water.
thought he was trying to move it. He was doing
Twag.
like super stuff.
I seen it. If y'all are wondering what just happened, Twag's trying to get his drink from over here.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, okay, man. I ain't know.
And I saw one steal your water, bro. I wasn't gonna let that happen, dog.
I thought he was trying to get. I thought it was one of them. You want certain logos.
That's like, nah, fuck that. I wish we ain't there yet.
Hey, look, I can dig it.
Fuck them and their logos, man. Shit. What was you saying? I'm so sorry.
Well, yeah.
Cash Money.
Yeah, they were saying, they didn't want me tied into a person who, at that point in time, they felt like his career was over. So then, it was like,
ludicrous.
Like tying myself to an anchor.
Yeah.
But in real time, I ain't give a shit. I wasn't sitting with Star because he had like a fucking luxurious career or because I felt sorry that his career might.
You was just on the vibe, right? You was just
right. This is a person I bonded with.
Yeah.
Period. None of that shit mattered. I'm like, man, do what you want, and they didn't want us to put it out. But in real time, the way I looked at it, I'm like, what the fuck could it hurt? I put a mixtape out. I got 1,000 fucking mixtapes. Let me.
Yeah. What year was that?
2010.
I don't know.
2010 was Step Brothers 1? He'll tell us, dude. That's Rain Man over there. Chad knows all the numbers.
Lido and Trip, they're both in my top 10.
And that was I got signed in 2011. So that all of that kind of shit is what made it tougher for me to exist on a label. Cause like I ain't against like learning from the people that's already in it. I look like in sports, they take the rookie on the team, and if you genuinely love what you're doing, you're excited to finally be a part of it. So you're gonna soak up as much game.
You don't mind riding the bench for a year to learn from the veteran,
right?
I get it,
but I draw the line at carrying your bags. We ain't doing all that goofy shit. I'm still a man.
You can teach me, but I ain't working for you.
Right,
I get it.
I ain't your boy. We ain't your lackey. We ain't gonna do all that.
Woof.
I can learn from you, but you ain't gonna belittle me while I learn from you.
I love it.
Right.
And the music business was kind of the same thing. Like, there was a lot of ideas and shit they suggested for me that just was fucking outrageous.
Yeah,
man.
like silly, outrageous.
They ain't trying to put you in the Diddy pants, did it?
Not the shiny pants.
No, they ain't trying to put you in the shiny pants.
Puffy suggested, he didn't directly suggest it. He suggested it through Harvey Pierre.
Flex, major flex.
They was like,
muscle shirt.
No, not the muscle shirt. The vest, the leather vest with no shirt on.
I could picture Diddy trying to put you in shit like that.
And the mohawk. I was supposed to cut my shit in the mohawk with the leather vest, and that was the thing, and it worked for other bad boy artists, but. Yeah, I'm like, that ain't me. I'm not doing that.
That was some biker boy shit.
And
solid film.
I was, man, when I got signed skinny as shit, I've been a skinny nigga since forever. Like I just started picking on weight like the last maybe 4 years.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I can't. You gonna have me bird chest with a leather vest on, and they was offering all kinds of chains and shit. And I'm like, man, in my head, all I could think is,
loan here, loan there. Yeah.
I wasn't even on that. Of course, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
But all I was thinking was, when I'm doing all this shit, it's all fascinating. I'm around all, I get to sit with the people who make the money.
The who's.
Yeah.
Basically.
Right.
Yeah.
But what happens when this party is done and everybody's doing meetings and I'm back in Memphis and I'm chilling and waiting, the in between time.
Yeah.
What happens then? I'm in Kroger and I don't got on all them
right,
for sure.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
I'm in a Nissan.
Yeah.
Every person that see me gonna say I fell off. You either gonna say I fell off or you gonna say I was faking it.
Yeah. That's facts.
Because in real time, I can't run. You ain't running around the hood with all that shit on, and you ain't driving no Lamborghini in the hood either. But that's what I'm saying. So
pull up on Buchanan $175,000 car.
And I mean, not only that, but I can't put no car seat in no Lamborghini.
Talk your shit, Trip.
Yeah.
And, that was like you just said, Letter to My Son is what introduced the world to me.
Right.
And I'm sitting in, and one of the main things they want to offer me is a car I can't put a child in.
2-seater.
Right, but that say something in itself. They
don't give a fuck about that.
Exactly. You ain't this ain't for the for my greater good. This is to benefit y'all. You want to make me comfortable. But,
the hook, they're trying to throw that hook out
there. Even if you live under a rock and you were unfamiliar with Don Tripp, and then you went down a Google or just any type of rabbit hole about your existing catalog up to like your current tear this year, right? And you did all that blinded, and then you hear us, you're listening to this, so to speak, and then you tap the fuck in. You can clearly see how fucking humble Don Tripp is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, like that part about it though, bro, is like the most admirable shit. Yeah. Like from an artist perspective, from a podcast host perspective, and a consumer. Like just to sit over there and just hear you like say like you wasn't interested in none of that shit. Yeah. Even back then, like all the little glitz and glamour type shit, just shit didn't work. To make it something you knew it wasn't. So you wasn't trying to bite that hook. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And just having that mental clarity and just knowing who you are. You know what I mean? And not letting to hear you tell these stories, to sit and break it down for us from you with a timeline attached to it to 08, 09, when all this shit's like happening. Yeah. That's a long fucking time, bro. Hey, I mean, that's a long time to stay humble to yourself. It's almost just like, fuck it. Give me the vest. You know what I'm saying? Or, fuck it. Them kids, I'll get them a bike.
Man, I think I'm just stubborn, man. It's just...
Nah, dude, that's that humble shit.
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying, I think that's why I can stick to it. Yeah. Like, it don't really matter what it is. And even if I'm losing, I ain't quitting. Yeah. And, this shit just became that. Like, man, when I first, 2009, when I did Letter to My Son, the local promoters in my city told me I couldn't make it. I wouldn't make it. I had to move to Atlanta. I had to make these kind of records. I got, of course, right? I was supposed to like be in the clubs all the time. I was supposed to like pop bottles, supposed to like, tip strippers, and I ain't do none of it. I stayed in Memphis. I found my own path. And those same guys, when they see me now, those guys got regular jobs and, they running car washes and shit. Yeah. They ain't, club promoters and shit no more. And, now they humble. Right. But that's how I always looked at it. Like, when it comes to the flashy shit, like they always say, I ain't religious. So, we hear the saying, God can take it away just as fast as you got it. I never really look at it like that. I guess mine is more surface level. I just look at it like, that guy next in line can take it. He can turn around and shoot me right now because, I got on enough shit to make him jealous. And no matter what, the jealous and the envy is going to come with it.
Absolutely.
But it's a certain... I don't know, something about being taunted like that don't really do it for me. Like I don't want to.
You don't get the attention you want,
right? Because to some people, I'm the guy that made it. I'm a success story. And then to other people, I'm the what did he do? Why he deserving and I don't deserve it? Yeah. And then you're gonna return to the environment you come from with you wearing it. Yeah. Hey, look what I got and you got that. Yeah. You ain't got this. Yeah. And that's how I always looked at it, and I'm like,
that's a good way to look at it. I mean, that's right. That's a great way to look at it. And, you know what I mean?
In real time, the other thing, I don't compare. I don't do. I come from eating the cornflakes that just say corns. They say
the white box.
Yeah, the white box
with the brown label on that motherfucker. Just say cornflakes.
My little brothers know what I'm talking about. Look, we had to sit on the floor. Our milk came in a can. You had to punch 2 holes in it so the milk come out.
A little triangle on that motherfucker.
Right. I went from that to shit. I just ate Roof Chris about 2 days ago.
Talk your shit.
But that's when So I come from. I come from not having it, and even at the point I'm at right now, it's people that got more than me. Like my Juicy J is one of my closest friends.
Flex.
I sit with Juicy J. Most definitely. Shout out Juicy J. But when I sit with Juicy J, like he got lavish shit.
He got that Katy Perry bread,
man. He had that fucking it was that I don't know what the fuck that is. I want to say it's a Maybach, whatever that is.
Yeah, he's on some shit though.
That shit long as shit. Like he had
Car.
Yeah, it's a car.
Gotcha.
Man. That motherfucker long. He called it a boat. That whole about as long as a boat.
Right.
But he had that shit before I even knew that it existed.
Hey man, he be in his bag. Different.
But when I'm with Juicy J, I don't feel like, man, I got, I ain't doing nothing because I don't got that big ass shit. He don't treat me like I ain't nobody because I don't got that big ass shit.
He treats you just like you got different taste or some shit.
Man, he treat me like
Equal.
that shit don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
To him, it's a car.
Yeah.
To me, that's a fucking, I don't even know what it is. It's just no
Spaceship.
Yeah. You're right. And to him, he look at it like, I got a car. You got a car? Well, shit, we got cars.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of shit that, that I think that's what make it rewarding. Because, that let me know that, I ain't the only person.
And this
I ain't the only person that look
you.
at it like that.
And it says something about you though. You know what I mean? Like a person like that right there who should have went through ain't no telling in this industry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. He even trust you to, you know what I mean, to open up and be around you like that right there. It says a lot about you.
Yeah,
So like it being an admitted consumer we've said, since Letter to My Son at the start, what was it like for Trip before that?
Before
You were born and raised in Memphis, right?
Yeah, so my
from the music aspect. We got to talk about from the womb.
Music, man, I've been recording music since I was 16.
Okay.
Well, like with real equipment.
Yeah.
I started recording when I was about 11, but we was using Fisher Price.
Hell yeah.
Karaoke machine.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
So I just had a bunch of cassette tapes with paper stuffed in it.
Hell yeah.
Piece so you can
Absolutely.
record.
Valero said he started when he was like 9, I think.
Yeah.
Remember we talked.
Somebody said 8 too.
8 or 9, yeah. So
Yeah, man, it just was in me. Man, you gotta consider I'm around the same. I'm a little younger than Chris Cross, so when I seen kids on TV, I was like, wow, kids can make music.
Yeah.
Then from that, I seen I don't know if y'all familiar with Biv 10, with Mike Bivens did. He had like it's called a Biv 10 All Stars.
I don't remember that.
I remember.
Wow.
Man,
I definitely remember Crisscross, but not Biv.
That was around the box.
Mike Bivens, right? Exactly. Yeah. Mike Bivens had a shitload of kids. I don't know what he was trying to do, but me being a kid, seeing that let me know the kids can do this.
Yeah, like entertainment wise,
right?
Yeah.
Then as I grew older, I saw more and more kids do it. Saw Bow Wow pop up, and I'm like, wow, they can do this. Then when I saw Lil Wayne, and Wayne's a few years older, but by the time I saw Lil Wayne, I was, he was a child, and I was a child.
You were in that 14, 16-year-old range. You know what I mean?
I'm like, wow. Not only can you do this, but you can do this being from the environment that I come from.
Yeah.
I ain't gotta do the fun poppy, carnival music. Right. Lil Wayne's rapping about the world that I see when I walk outside.
Block is hot.
I'm getting How You Live too. I think he was like 13 or something when the Hot Boys first album dropped.
Yeah, he was like 11 when he signed.
Yeah.
So that shit from seeing that, I'm like, wow, this is something that I could actually do. And from that, I got my brothers in here, man. They can tell you since we was children, this the path I've been on.
So these are your homies from back to kids.
No, this my
family,
my cousins. We grew up in the same house, awesome. Same bed. So they not my cousins, they my brothers.
I understand it.
That's dope, bro. That's real.
Like they've known me their entire lives, and cool, since we was little kids, since talking about maybe 9 or 10, since they can remember. Yeah, music has been my path. I love it.
I love those type stories, period. But to hear the names you dropped along that timeline, absolutely, I totally.
And I think that's one of the things that help build my relationships as well. I never, I was never pretending in any environment.
When you say relationships, you mean like within the industry or just like amongst just peers?
Well, both actually.
Yeah,
because when it comes to the music business, a lot of times people won't rock with you unless they benefit from it.
Yeah, facts.
And I'm not as close with Gotti as I am with Juicy J.
Flex.
But I'm close with Gotti. And same thing, it's not I'm not signed to Gotti. I've never been signed to Gotti.
Okay.
And last time I seen Gotti, I want to say it was in the airport. We just happened to be catching a flight at the same time. We weren't on the same flight, I don't think. But either way, we was catching a flight at the same time. And it's early as shit in the morning. I ain't a morning person. So, man, I'm in there like, man, I'm just trying to get this over with. And he called my name from across the counter. And I said that to say that it's a mutual thing. It's not like a, I ain't on a, like, I'm gonna make sure people know I know you while we in public. It's a, it's a mutual thing. And it don't really got nothing to do with music.
It ain't forced. It's organic. Right.
Yeah. And I think that's why I'm able to have those kind of relationships, because I ain't in it. Like, we all been around people that, you can tell this person's around because, they got an objective. It's something they want. It's something I have that they want. Yeah. And I ain't never really been in that space. For me, like when I met Gotti, it was an honor. It's a person who's been involved in the music business for shit. When I met him, he wasn't like, he was established then. Now he's like a fucking mogul. Oh yeah, but bro. When I met him, he didn't have it all pieced together yet. Yeah. He was trying to figure it out as well. And even then, it was an honor to me because it's people I grew up listening to. It's a person who went and carved out his own path. Yeah. And same token,
it's the first time I ever saw Yo Gotti in person was when I worked at a CD store back in the day. They sold vinyl, et cetera, in Antioch off Rural Hill Road. It was called House of Hits. And he pulled up to drop off a case of discs to the owner, DJ Lil Les. Yeah. And when you take that moment I'm thinking of in my mind right now, I couldn't even tell y'all how to compare it to his life now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
big difference. But that's how he got there,
bro.
For being hand on.
If I can remember, I can't remember the title of the disc, but if I can find the front of it, I'll display it here. But it was
Life. Was it Life?
No, it had a teal blue back cover, and it said Yo Gotti and diamonds in the bottom, but the graphic was not like You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, no. Bro, this is old. This is probably like 99, 98, 99, maybe 2000. But I remember him pulling up at in front of the record store. What was it called?
Self-explanatory, probably.
That's possibly it. Yeah, that's I have to see it. Life, yeah. But
that's kind of.
I'll never forget that moment. Yeah. And then I see his latest drop where he's in the button-up suit and shit
with drama.
Yeah, and going crazy. You know what I mean? And it's just like, wow, that's that same dude. Yeah, I saw walk in there with them discs that day.
Started whole fucking.
It was the same with Buck. Same story, because I used to watch Buck walking into that same store and do that same shit, him and DT, and then that was during them days. And then to see, fast forward when Buck hit G Unit and was just gone. You know what I mean? It was like, wow.
That's what I'm saying. That kind of, I've always been inspired by that kind of shit. Like, growing up, becoming a musician was fucking impossible, especially from Memphis. Because, for a long time, the only way you could get in was like standing outside of the fucking record label and rapping and shit.
Right.
Way
catching somebody coming out the records, the radio station or some shit. Right. Like it, it's a whole different deal.
Right. If I'm fucking preteen, I can't afford to go to New York, let alone go to New York.
Same story, different book, brother.
An indefinite amount of time or length of time and stand outside of a fucking radio station.
Right. So,
that shit, at some point, it became more and more obtainable. And like I said, technology started, technology worked on.
Internet changed everything.
Yeah, but the internet and like the resources, like, it went from, like, my first set of equipment for myself was, what the fuck is it called? A Digi 03. It's like a Pro Tools mixing boards about that big.
Were you making beats too?
Well, yeah, I
was going to say, where them trip beats at?
Them shits was horrible. But at that moment in time, when I was making beats, I didn't have any other beats.
Right.
And then, like I said, technology worked in my favor. It was a fucking program called Cool Edit Pro.
Okay.
That's what I started recording on. I still use it. It's Adobe Audition.
Man, look, I took that shit. I had like the trial version. It's back when the internet was,
dial up.
So
America Online.
Right.
So, you sounded just like it though when you did it. That was spot on, bro. Like, you nailed it.
Well, the America Online disc, it came with with like 2 usernames.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to use it twice. You're supposed to use it and give it to a neighbor or some crazy shit.
Imagine that's what the world used to be.
Right. But at some point they started like including other little programs with them. So I had the trial version of America Online, and
the cut, the little editing thing.
Cool edit.
right, and that shit was like junk mail. So you in a week you gonna get about 6 of them shits in the mail.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody, once I found out what that was and what I could do with
you
that,
was collecting them.
oh man,
You go to somebody's house, see them in a pile of mail and shit, start fishing them out.
Yeah,
I know, bro.
Let me get these.
Yeah.
But from that, I started using Cool Edit, and what I used Cool Edit to do, because again, my beast was horrible. I knew that was horrible, but I didn't know that's the only resource I had. So I started peeping that people was leaving like 5-6 seconds of just instrumental.
You start looping and shit.
Song. Exactly.
I'm with it.
Oh yeah.
When I started doing that like birthed the whole mixtape era for me. So all throughout high school, that's what I was doing. I was
Solo dolo.
mixtapes. Well, I started, at first it was solo. Then I started meeting people that rap too, and I looked at it. My philosophy was more like a faction, not so much like a rap group. Because at some point it was about 13 of us.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And in high school, that was fun because it was, it was a bunch of people that like to do the same thing. And then as we got older, it became
More about business.
well, not so. I wouldn't say business yet because we weren't really, the money wasn't coming yet.
Yeah.
But it started being like something that was fun for them and something that I
More
was
serious.
addicted to.
Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
You could see levels to the dedication of it.
Right. We look up and I ain't left the studio in 4 days.
Yeah, the longevity was clearly different on.
Right.
I get it.
Out of the 13 people, it was just me.
Everybody else left and did it for fun for a little bit, then went to the
Exactly.
club. Yeah.
And it was a sometime kind of thing for everybody else, and for me it was.
Did you always go by Don Tripp?
No.
Shit.
I've had 2 rap names in my career.
Let's hear them.
My first rap name was Lunatic.
Okay.
I was I'm probably like 13, 14 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I love this part when we get the old names, bro.
man,
That's dope, bro.
when I didn't become Don Tripp until I was 16, maybe 17.
Okay.
That's when I used to battle rap. Not like TV, not like shit ain't TV. What's it called?
The circuits and
Smack
shit.
TV.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Call it something else
URL
now.
TV.
Yeah. Not like that kind of battle rap on the stage and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, like outside,
street.
somebody found out you could rap, and they think they look cousin
Your
or
turn.
so and so
Yeah.
can rap better.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
essence of it right there.
Right.
though.
I used
Meek
back
Mill
when I was
and,
doing that.
Reed Dollar. Was it Meek Mill and Reed Dollar outside?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. You got
That's just deep.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the point in time where I was doing that. And then in a verse, I referred to myself as the Don or a Don or something like that. And it was around a bunch of people that I don't know, so they don't know my name.
Yeah, you can be whoever you want to be.
Well, that's the thing. In the verse, I said I was a Don, or I referred to myself as a Don, and from that they all start calling like they thought that was my name.
That's Don.
Right. So from that,
He told us. He said his name is Don.
Right. So
Right.
and you know how a nickname go. You don't pick the nicknames.
Nah,
No, you
It's
don't.
stuck.
You don't get rid of them neither.
Exactly. So when it stuck, and I got strangers calling me Don, and after so long, I realized they talking to me when they saying this.
Yeah.
They think that's my name. So I'm like, well, fuck it. I went from trying to correct, I tell, hey, that's not my name. My name is Lunatic. And then he said, what's up, Don?
Yeah.
That's not my name. He said, all right, look, fuck this, man.
Universe was like,
I'm done. Goddamn.
It is what it is. Right. So after that, I was, like I said, about 16, 17. It didn't really make sense to me to be the Don because I'm a teenager. And I know what what the Don
once you
is.
start realizing who Dons really are, it's like, oh, okay.
Right. So I'm like, that don't really make sense for me. But at the same
Still in
token,
school, man.
right, exactly. But I couldn't remove, again, I didn't name myself,
Right,
so I couldn't,
yeah.
I couldn't correct every person, especially like now, it's just didn't touch the internet. But it was impossible to correct all those people. So I just felt like maybe I should give it a little more. I should turn it into a name. And I guess I had 3 because after that, I didn't want to be the Don, so I was Don Tribbiani. I named myself out of Joy on Friends.
All right.
And then
Well, that's a fucking fun fact right there. Dude.
I fuck with Friends.
Hell yeah.
Matt LeBlanc.
Hell yeah. He's probably watching, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Everybody watches this.
I can dig it. Well, yeah, from that,
Who would have fucking thought that
that
shit?
shit became impossible to spell or to relate.
You had to tell people how to spell it.
That's a hell of a signature right
Pronounce
there.
it. Everybody pronounce it wrong. Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is before I even start signing autographs. So none of that registered to me yet. You know, it's just it was in the fun phase.
Imagine had to do got them at 1,500 of those.
Man, look, it just would have been a D and a T. But from that, you know, as I got older, I felt like my name had to make sense. And Tribbiani is an Italian name. It was already, you know, mafia-esque, the Don part. So I'm like, man, you know, I gotta make a little more sense for me and kind of simplify it. So I took the Tribbiani and I named, you know, at first it was going to be Don Trib, and then I had typed, you know, this back when, you know, we do the Pope Man copyright, you know, you
mail it to yourself or some shit. Yeah.
And when it came to like internet shit, you just type it in and make sure nothing else comes up from it.
Yeah. And you knew you were good to go.
Yeah, but Trib was a whole bunch of freaky shit.
Oh, okay.
So when I typed that in, I'm like, well, you know, that's scissoring. I ain't know this.
Damn.
I definitely didn't know that.
I know now.
So I was
Right.
years
So,
old.
you
Shout
know,
out Trip for that.
I typed it in to name myself this. And I'm like, no, I gotta, I ain't gonna be able to pull this one up. So I just,
shout out to you for doing the research on that one.
Yeah, boy.
Both of you just went with it, pulled the trigger on it.
Fuck.
it had just been weird.
Yeah, dog.
But, you know, that's what convinced me to make it Don Trip instead of Don Trib. And then, you know, shit, from there, I never changed my name again. So
That's
I've been,
dope, bro.
It's
been
worked.
that since 17. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's worked. Shit.
Man, one thing about you that I've always admired is as an artist is like the consistency that you've always been able to maintain. I know, like even from back then. You know what I'm saying? And up until now, like you're 8 projects in now.
Yeah.
Because when this drops, the new one's already out.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I've truly admire about you, other than just being a dope ass artist, like the consistency that you've been able to.
That.
It's inspiring for people like us because that's what we're doing. You know,
Facts.
what I'm saying? So,
Big facts.
Actually, in real shit, that's why I do it. I do it because I've seen a lot of talented people give up, and like if you're familiar with my campaign, then you're familiar with my brother Piff.
Absolutely. Long live Piff.
Piff was one of them guys. I'm sure people have noticed by now from the Long Live Piff tape. Piff was talented, but I couldn't get him to believe in himself. And you know, seeing that kind of shit, like I don't know. At some point, you know, when I'm making music, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, how do I inspire myself? And I say what inspires me. I just record on the mic the words I have to tell myself to stay inspired. And, you know, from that, at some point, other people could relate. And that told me, all right, then, you know, that, you know, this, if it's worth saying.
Yeah.
And even now, like, you know, to have so much music, like I said earlier, off the shit, all of the shit's in real time. We're not, you know, I don't have like a vault of records. I don't got a notebook that I got like pre-written songs. I
think that's so interesting.
At this moment, I don't have a single record. I don't write music until we in the studio.
Love that part.
I don't write if I don't plan to record it. Once I'm finished with the last word. You got my guy here, and that's shit. He wear a lot of hats. He the engineer, the producer, the fucking the executive producer, the director. He do a lot of shit. But when we in it, like, you know, we sit. If some catch, then some catch. Some, you know, some days we come in the studio and nothing happens, and it just is what it is. Sometimes, you know.
How long y'all been working together?
I don't even fucking know. Craig.
2018. 2017. Okay.
Yeah, we started working. We started from one of the Step Brothers projects we was working on.
Dope.
And he knew the start.
Love that one. That's my favorite.
He came in with some beats, and, you know, we checked them out. And initially, I was expecting to to feel the same way I feel when just about anybody was playing music I didn't ask for, and I didn't ask him to play beats. I want to say he just said he had beats or something.
Smart guy.
But we in the studio.
Absolutely.
And at that moment in time, like I said, sometimes I'm in the studio, nothing comes about.
Yeah.
And I don't stress none of that shit. We go in the day of nothing happening.
Yeah. Just look for the wave. I get it.
Right. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And if I'm making a record, like if we play a beat right now and I like it, and I can't really, nothing's really coming to mind, but I like it. We just put that beat to the side, and we might bring that up later on. Yeah, but if we don't got none, we don't got none. And if we got something, then I ain't in it. Like I ain't walking around studios trying to come up with my third.
Stressing yourself or anything. Yeah.
Whatever was on there.
Oh, I love that.
But either way,
that's interesting to hear.
He started playing beats, and I was impressed. And so from that, we
locked in.
Well, we weren't locked in the way we locked in now. It gradually built. It went from, he had a beat to, I hit him, he'll contribute a few beats to a tape.
Right.
And then, I don't know, I think at some point, we just sat in the studio, and to me, in real time, I say it all the time, those moments where we're in the studio and we're not recording, that's when the magic happened. Because that's when, I believe in team chemistry. I believe in morale. And, we sit and we chill, and, we going through beats, we ain't really find the space we trying to find, and we might have a conversation, might have 70 conversations, but that put us in the same space.
Yeah.
And after that conversation, which is weird because it kind of happened every project, but we'll sit down, we in there, we playing beats, and nothing happened. We have a conversation, come back 2 or 3 days later and get at it. Somehow we on the same page now.
It's so organic though,
and that's why I don't tamper with it. It worked, and
on the broader perspective though, like to hear that is like that works, guys. Like the more real it is, like to the masses, like the more it's going to be appealing to bigger demographics. You know what I'm saying? Like it's.
I'm believe it or not, I'm more popular now than I've ever been, and
you deserve it, dog.
You definitely do.
I ain't see it coming. I appreciate that, but it wasn't something I planned. It wasn't, I ain't sit and hope for the day. I just kept at it, and I would like. At some point, when I started working with Chef, I'm the kind of person where I'm less of that now, but I'm the kind of person I only deal with people that I'm used to, that I'm accustomed to. I don't like strangers. It just don't work.
Yeah.
And at some point, I kind of stepped out of it, because the people I was accustomed to getting music, getting beats from, weren't, it wasn't Chef. So when I sat down with Chef, I'm like, this works. And, what is it that needs to remain, and what is, if this makes any sense, what do I do to maintain it, to make sure that we, now it's a different thing. It's a personal relationship now.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, like, what do I do to maintain it? And I don't know if it was I don't really know what it was that changed my perspective. But I said, at some point I'll have to involve people that's not, that I didn't start with.
That you don't have to continue to start over with. Like, find a new producer and work with him, a new one, and work with him. You're constantly trying to build relationships.
No, I mean more so that too. But I mean, like, I like the way I grew up. Like, it's me and my people versus the world. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
That's a great mentality to have, but not so much for business or creativity for that.
It's limiting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I'm sitting and I'm like, I'm a closed off person. So, we in the studio, this shit's working. Maybe I need to allow other people in the space, at least the creative space, and let's see what happens. Because what started to happen, people that that I started with are dwindling off. These people, they didn't stand it.
Like from a worth ethic type,
just career,
everything,
like,
from
I
mean, like everything. Like, these people. All right, I see these guys when I'm about to go do a show.
Gotcha.
Do I see these guys when when I'm in the studio and there's nothing fun happening.
Yeah.
No, it starts slowing down. I went from having a studio full of people to just being me and the engineer in the studio.
Got it.
But game day, you get
right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So then I developed. I'm sorry. Then I developed the habit of not wanting anybody in the studio that wasn't contributing to the music. And from that, I even learned that in most cases, that person that you brought with you, that you got with you because you're being loyal, and that's your guy that really ain't holding his weight. He look at what we're doing and it's beneficial when it's beneficial, versus the guy who's been trying to do the same thing in another space.
Yeah.
And then you go link with that guy, and in real time, all he got is hunger and drive. He got the drive like you got.
Yep.
And he been experiencing the same thing you've been experiencing. He been working with people who, they eager to work when they see something's going to come from it. Right. And then when when that something takes more time than they was expecting for something to come from it, then they bail. And then you left, like you said, you got to start over, and I got to find new people to work with. So when I kind of opened the door for people that I wasn't raised with. Yeah. When I opened the door for other people to come in, it helped and hurt because it's a learning curve.
Sure.
You're not going to find 5 good people if all you got is 5 people.
Yeah. And your first chance at this was Chef, right? Like basically, is that what you were saying?
No.
You had to go through some of it.
Right. I've been through trials and tribulations.
Gotcha. Okay.
And what worked with Chef was, to be honest, the one thing that made me sit and say I can rock with Chef even when we're not making music. It was a point in time where my brother had just died, so being in my studio was a little eerie for me.
Gotcha.
But I needed some place to record. And Chef kept hitting me. He was like, man, he knew what I was going through. And he just wanted me to be active. So he's like, come to my spot. I come to his Chef's spot, and I really can't find no zone. He ain't tripping. He don't care. We come back another time and another time and another time. All these times, music just not working right now. I can't even think right now. And I'm still, I was fucked up. Right. So at some point, I started catching my groove because we was getting featured offers and shit. And I ain't never been one for turning down money that pays bills.
Absolutely.
So, I started getting into it, and like I said, I couldn't record in my spot. It just didn't feel right. So I hit Chef. I'm like, man, I got these features, and Chef make beats. And any other aspect, if I wanted to record something with a producer and it was somebody else's beat, they gonna feel a way. For sure. And he didn't give a shit. Like, he was in that shit. He rocking like we both just made the shit from scratch.
Yeah, he's just glad you're creating.
Right. And I get it. And like, I'm a fucking workhorse. So we be in there, I do about 10 features. All 10 of these records are not on his records. Yeah. And he don't say, hey, well, how about you do one on my record? Nah, that shit didn't matter. That shit just was understood. Yeah. And from that, I was just like, man, it's a guy who's invested in it, even if he don't directly benefit. And that shit, that
says a lot.
Volumes.
That says a huge amount, man.
So from that, I'm like, man, it don't make no sense not to give it a try. Right. And we sat down and made one project, and man, I don't know. That shit just it said everything it needed to say. So from that, we just been rocking. Like, I hang with his pops and everything. Like, it became a personal relationship. Outside of the music.
But that's great, man. I mean, that's artists and producers both, and I'm neither nor now. But at the same time, I know, individuals go their whole careers seeking that comfortability with an individual that they can build on. Batman and Robin, or however you want to look at it. And it seems like the ones that find that relationship are able to build off of it for a signifiant amount of years.
True that.
At the end of this story, it seems to get fucking great. You know what I mean?
And because he's produced like you said, we would be at 8. He's produced all 8.
Bro,
8 albums this year. That's what we're at. Dude, that is unbelievable.
You got like you got some outside producers like 1 or 2 times on some of those.
Sure, of course. I mean, I can only imagine how many
beats are hitting the DM since you've been on a tear like this?
Yeah, you know, it get tricky. I had to I can't really answer.
I can understand.
Well, what happens in the DMs, because at first I used to look at it like, you know, I'm a person and I know what it's like to, you know, reach out to people who got a you know, like a higher status than you, and they never respond. They never, you know, get any correspondence. So I used to try to, you know, at least give a person that satisfaction. Like, you know, I would say thank you. Know, they would say, I listened to your music when I was in the feds and yada 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 yada. And I'm like, man, I appreciate the love. I really appreciate the support. Yeah. And then the thing about a DM, once I accept that,
they double
everything.
Y'all buddies now.
Right, but I don't get to filter it now.
Yeah.
So you can send me everything now. So in a week, I'm gonna check my shit and I got 20 some messages. I'm like, what is this? I check my messages and it's you sending me every song you ever recorded in your life.
Right.
Because I told you that I appreciate
we
the support.
buddies now, man.
So it's best to just not.
Not even say nothing because it get weirder and weirder. Man, like it's been times I'll you know I respond and try to show some love back. Cause you know I was reading the shit, they like suicidal and shit. Yeah, I'm like, man, you know, hanging in there, yada yada yada, and then
they screenshot it and put it up, and be like,
no. Yeah, I've had that kind of shit.
I can only imagine, man.
But just they want that moment with you.
Man, they come back telling me, you know, they like cash app them, you know, they hurt.
Oh, man.
Can you pay for my books for school? All this kind of crazy shit. I'm like, man, you a complete fucking stranger. And it tripped me out more when I see men do it because I wasn't raised like that. Yeah, you know, I was.
Oh man,
I was raised by mostly women, but the thing that you know that drove in that you know you can't. You're a man. You don't go beg for it. You got to go and get it.
He said you're a complete fucking stranger, bro.
Right? Exactly. You know, I check my DMs. Grown ass man I never seen in my life telling me to send him some money so he can fix his car or some shit.
Bro,
I'm like, man, this ain't that.
One thing I did want to say to you, bro, like,
shout out, Trip.
My favorite song that you ever did was Ricky Clemens Jr. Right?
Oh yeah.
And the reason why it's my favorite is because it's a song dedicated to Piff, right?
Right.
But the passion that you had in that song, like towards the end, like when you're like you just let the beat run and you're going through, you're tearing up, you're crying and all that. It reminds the only reason I say that, bro, is because it reminds me of a buddy, like my buddy Worm that passed away.
Worm.
He was a part of
us,
man.
He right here on the wall.
Yeah, and he was another guy that was super talented dude.
Yeah.
One foot in the streets, one foot in the music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And didn't really know his potential, like what you just said.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to tell you that because that shit hit different listening to that because right after he passed, I did kind of the same thing and that shit just hit me, bro. And that's one I go back and listen to like on the regular.
I appreciate that.
I told you, Trip, like we're over. I think I told your homie we're over 200 episodes on this show. Like we recently passed our 200th. This is like episode 207 or 8 or something. But I could literally send you probably a 20-minute reel of clips of Chad Arms, the guy over there, naming you as one of his top 5, top 3. Like he's a huge fan, bro, and he's an ingenious artist himself. Like the two guys sitting next to you are my favorite artists on this planet.
Indeed.
The amount of talents in this fucking room right now is baffling to me. It's just cool to be Squint some days, like, trust me. But to hear you break down the scenarios you broke down for us, man, and just the humbleness you possess, Trip, is some of the most impressive shit ever, just to know.
Man, I appreciate being appreciated.
You know what I mean? And we've looked for, like I said, bro, this has been a part of a manifestation for this show. Like, you have no idea off camera the discussions we have about things we have aspirations to make happen. And when this became a reality to us that you would be joining us this evening, like we were all beside ourselves just with the and it's not on like some fanboy shit.
Right, no.
But
respect, bro.
Yeah.
It's that right there. Yeah. It's exactly what he just said. And to take what you've been able to do this past year, and I think I made it through 4 of the projects today. And I ran through them purposely, you know what I mean? But I missed the Love Strippers too. I missed that.
That was my mistake. Well, again, like I said earlier, for the most part, I don't really care.
Yeah.
So I don't sit and say, I got my guy Charlie with me. I don't even know what you would categorize Charlie as, but Charlie,
like a utility player, like he kind of did a little bit of
everything. Very much so. Charlie's like adding Dennis Rodman to the Bulls.
Yeah. Hell yeah,
because he kind of weird too, but.
Shout out Charlie.
Yeah, indeed. Charlie, but Charlie came in, and like I said, I just learned how to accept strangers into my space.
Yeah.
And Charlie was one of them people. Charlie's young as shit too. He's like 21, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was the thing about Charlie when I met him, like that hunger. Like it don't really matter what you do. Like you recognize it in other people. Just like a complete stranger can see the star in you, even if you can't see it. That's how you wind up with so many leeches, because they see the stardom before you see it. They see the potential in it. Now, a lot of times they become such a weight that they prevent you from becoming that, which is still your fault.
They're trying to drain off of you,
right?
Leech off of you. Yep.
But for the most part, that hunger is recognizable. Especially when you got it yourself. Like it's a reason why male lions only like battle over pussy. In every other aspect, he respect that's another male lion. They trying to impress a bitch. That's a whole nother thing. That's just how the world works.
Yeah.
But either way, I recognized that hunger, and there was a lot of ideas he had that some of them I didn't agree with. They didn't resonate with me. But what stood out to me was they didn't deter him. He would say, let's try A. And I said, I don't like A. Let's try B. I don't really like B. You're going to keep going.
Yeah.
And shit, we might make it all the way to double A and double B.
Yeah.
We ran through everything. Right. The persistence is still there.
Yeah.
And
you're going to get it right.
Right. And, that shit, that's something you can't buy. Like, especially, shit, he don't know, we're getting to know each other, but shit, he could say, well, fuck this shit. And shit, he don't like shit.
Nah, keep going, dog.
Right.
Don't move.
And that's been a part of what's been helping, like, expand my presence, so to speak.
Yeah, man.
So, all the way up until now, I really ain't, even now, I still don't much give a shit. Like, I don't follow the rules. I don't think they make sense. I think for a long time we studied signed artists.
Yeah, facts.
We studied what record labels do.
Yeah.
And from studying what record labels do, we lost perspective. Like in real time, you take me and you take any signed artist. If they go platinum in a year, and it take me 5 years to go platinum, when they say I went platinum, I ain't going to give a fuck that it took 5 years.
Yeah. You still went platinum.
I went platinum. I achieved it. Yeah, I didn't get it when they got it. Or as soon
but you
as
did
they
it without the
got
machine and everything else.
You did it at the mud.
Or just the fact that I did it, period.
Yeah, period. I get that too.
Right.
Yeah.
If you buy a house, you're not going to say, well, yeah, I did
Took
buy
me
a
longer
house,
or any of that shit. I still got my house.
But I know, Carl, he bought a house when he was
Fuck
19.
Fuck Carl.
Right. I'm 28, so I'm behind it. No, fuck that. No, I got it. I made it to it.
Yeah.
And, when it comes to music, I look at all my shit the same way. If we're going to put a tape out, we're just going to put it out. Now, in some cases, like with I Heart Strippers, we put it out on a Tuesday, I think. And, Tuesday used to be the release date for music.
Well, now it can be any day. You just pick it now.
Well, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
That was how I looked at it. Like, man, I don't give a fuck. We're just going to put it out. And then at some point, I sat and I looked at how shit been working
Analytics
out.
type shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And I still feel like looking at the numbers is more harmful than good for me.
Yeah.
I'm not for other people.
You mentioned that like out the gate, like on tonight's episode. You mentioned something about steering away from it.
Yeah, I don't want to get stuck in that. Yeah. But at the same token, I don't want to be so stubborn that I start handicapping myself. Like so when I seen when I seen the tape, what was that? Gotham City.
There's a lot, dude.
I seen what Gotham City did.
They're all fire, but yeah, Gotham City.
I can't remember what was.
This episode dropped September 1st, and you just dropped another one.
Right. So you dropped Gotham City, and you dropped I Heart Strippers 2, then you dropped The Devil You Know.
All right, when it was time to do the fourth one, that's when my distributor, they doing their job. They sat. My bad.
You good?
They sat and they showing me all the numbers and shit that I'm not paying attention to. And then I see the little zigzag and shit.
Yeah,
the graph chart.
The graphs. Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, why that one do that?
Yeah.
And it was like, well, you put it out on an off day. And I was like, oh, okay.
Don't do that again.
Exactly.
I get it.
Now, at the same token, I ain't going to go and say, let me make the exact same whatever, or let me, I'm not in it trying to do everything that worked for the last run. At the same token, I'm not, like I said, I ain't going to tie my hand behind my back on purpose either.
Yeah.
So I learned from it, like I learned from everything else. So that's why a lot of people missed it, because I put it out on a Tuesday versus
or
on a Friday.
It could be that you had released so much other hot shit. I didn't give the other shit time yet to get to that yet.
That's very possible as well.
I need to see all 5 of them at one time to tell you my favorite. I think
it's 8 now.
I think the 7th. Which one? It comes out the 28th or whichever. So when he's sitting here now in the time warp, he's dropping one tomorrow. In reality, he's dropping one tomorrow, right? No, Friday.
Yeah.
But this comes out the following Friday, September 1st. So what's the name of the latest one that dropped?
This one's called Hell's Kitchen.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I love the amount of content. It's absolutely insane, but I love how you said the vault's empty. There is no vault. Like, these records are in real time. You know what I mean? If we wasn't going to name this episode Long Live Piff, like, that's just a given. It has to be called that.
Yeah,
but we would name it Real Time just because of the fact we've said that word a lot. Yeah. But in real time.
He in heaven stomping the stage right now.
Right? Hell yeah. I think that's the best part about the records, though, that we're hearing, is I know, just based off this conversation, I know how fucking fresh they are and how in the moment. Well, when you dropped the bar about the bitch on the plane that said the dude wasn't real and shit, when you said that in one of these records,
I want to say I saw it like maybe a day or so before I said.
So I stamped that in my mind. I paused it for a minute, I was in the whip and I paused it and I thought for myself, and I was like, wait a minute, this bitch is going viral now because she just apologized. So I'm trying to put a timestamp on it.
Yeah, in real time, shit don't stay viral. So.
Bro, it doesn't. Yeah. But that's a very relatable topic still, because this bitch just came forward and trying to apologize and some old shit. But she's still in the news, but it just gives you.
Yeah, it lets you know.
I didn't
record this last year.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, and all of it's fresh.
But that's fire, and it just shows the creative genius you possess, Trip. Like,
I appreciate it.
To be able to get in there, bro, and knock out 7 fucking albums, 8 when this is after this is being recorded, is the 8th one within 1 calendar year, and it's not B-side records. You're not cleaning out the vault.
Exactly.
These are all brand new fucking records that are all relative to the world around us. They're all still relatable. They're propelling you back to where you fucking belong. Like, we'll make that. I mean, you're not in Chad Arms top 5 for no reason. You know what I'm saying? That dude's got over 900 catalog songs. Like, that guy over there's got 25 plus albums. Like, this guy was on one of Jelly Roll's notable first hits this city ever had. Yeah, shout out Jelly Roll.
Shut up, bro, man.
Have you ever heard that song, Welcome to the Trap House?
I'm not sure.
It's one of Jelly's, like, old school.
It dropped the year before you did the song with Jelly.
If you heard it, but one is featured on that record. This is 10 years old, but at the same time, that's a record that they still play to this day. It's like that nostalgic when it comes to his catalog.
I can dig.
But
Jelly's a good guy.
He's a great guy. Shout out Jelly Roll. But that's a whole different discussion as far as like where he's at now and what he's doing. And we talk about that shit nonstop. But when we mention one in his relationship with Jelly, all the way up to present days, but how it started, you know, and to hear all that and incorporate, just pull it all up with this conversation, bro, and just really get a glimpse of Don Tripp on some real shit.
Yeah.
It's not disappointing, my friend.
Like, indeed, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause we never know what we're going to get, like, as far as like outside guests or anything, you know, they say you don't want to meet your heroes, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Well, we ain't missed yet, though.
We have not. You know, every time
we had a little flip on here. That was
a fucking honor.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Indeed.
You mentioned we know some of your close associates as far as like Trapper Mandel and we Eddie Valero's pulled up. Kendrick P.
Trap was in the fantasy football.
Some of them guys.
Yeah, Trap was in our.
Too.
Yeah, what's that?
Said some of them guys, they careers are propelling.
Bro, I love each and every one of those guys. But I literally, bro, I think Kendrick P. It ain't going nowhere.
Got it.
That boy right there,
Got it.
if he just keep working and just
Keep on grinning, boy. That boy will not lose, man.
He got it. It go back to like I was saying. It's a handful of people that don't have any acclaim at the moment that I'll do anything for.
Name them.
And Kendrick P, I won't name all of them, but Kendrick P is one of them people.
Gotcha.
Like he one of them people that like I want to say I might have met Kendrick P last year. I want to say.
I think that's what he said on the pod off camera.
The hunger.
Yeah.
Like
he's a good kid, man.
I know that I know I've said that a few times, but that's you can't teach it. You can't buy it. You can't fake it.
Nah. You gotta be born with that shit, bro.
Exactly.
It's gotta be natural.
Man, our relationship went from me or Chef calling, getting them to come through and sing a hook. Mm-hmm. It went from that to like, if you need a record from me, just send it. You don't even gotta tell me, we don't gotta have the conversation. You just send it. Like my world is what it is. It's a whirlwind, so I might not send it back tonight, but I got you. And same thing, like when we working on projects now, like when I make records, I don't have a person in mind. I'm not, I don't make this song and then say, well, I want to put so and so on it. At some point in my career, that's how it used to be, but people never sent verses back. So I ain't into waiting on nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't take it personal. You ain't send it back. I don't know what you got going on in your life. I ain't, they ain't none of my business. You ain't send it back, then so be it. So, I began to just work in my space.
Yeah.
So if we doing a record, like, it don't really matter who it is. Most of the times, if it's my record, the person ended up on that record because it was present.
Yeah, they heard it, happened to be in the room, you caught the vibe with them. And
right. Otherwise, I ain't much sending nothing.
Let me hear what you got. You working on something? Let me hear it.
Right. So we went from calling, Kendrick P to come in and do a hook to, at some point I just told him, you good, man. I would come to the studio. He might be finishing up a session or something with Chef, and ordinarily, I'm a chill until he wrap up what he doing.
Yeah.
But it's Kendrick P. I know how much he love it. I know how much like I said earlier, you're addicted to it. Anything you can do, you can't shake it. Even with an addiction, you gotta take it one day at a time. When you do shake it. So I can see that hunger, and he one of them guys that don't mind learning.
Yeah.
And I noticed I'm sitting and I'm recording. Like I said, we're doing whole projects. So I'm sitting, we recording, and I look and I see Bobbin. He rapping or singing, whatever. He got something.
That boy
in his
can
head.
spit, bro.
I know it.
That boy
that's
can
what I'm saying.
spit.
So we grew to a space where it went from, like I said, us like getting them to contribute
just to feature a record. Now
it's Kendrick P has the privilege of soliciting input. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I ain't one of them, like, if we're in the studio, I'm not in the studio with people that, like I said, it's essential personnel only. And all my career, I ain't never took no advice until, like I said, I opened my, my doors, so to speak. And Kendrick P is one of them people. Like, we can sit in the studio, and again, like I said, when it comes to Charlie, like, if the way you respond to me declining is what speaks to me.
Yep.
And Kendrick P, we had done some records, and probably I might have been like one or two. Either way, in the midst of the records we've done, some of them I don't like. Some of the ideas. So if you try an idea and I ain't really digging it, I'm gonna tell you I'm not rocking with it. When I ain't into I'm not gonna embarrass you or no shit.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why, if we in the studio, it's got to be essential person.
Yeah.
Because those are the only people that truly understand what we're doing.
You don't need no yes men. You need the people that are gonna.
And you need the people that
Critics.
understand it. Like, if I go in the booth and I start singing, because this particular hook, I wrote it for someone to sing.
Yeah.
I don't need people outside laughing because I can't sing.
Mm-hmm.
I know I can't sing.
Yeah.
Whoever's singing it know I can't sing. The producer know I can't sing. But the only way you're gonna get the idea is if I do it.
Sing it for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I get
So
it.
that that's like a dead giveaway. They start laughing out there, them people don't need to be in here.
Yep.
But either way, we did a couple ideas. Well, he pitched a couple ideas, and I didn't like them, and he ain't say, oh, well, I ain't fucking with him no more.
Yeah, he's a critic. He took it as a critique. So if that didn't work, let me give him something that might work.
Exactly.
And just keep working toward it, like you were saying about the kid.
At some point, we made it to the space same way, and like I said, I don't much like strangers, but when I recognize people that
Consistency and drive, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
When you got all that, I think it's undeniable.
Yeah.
And it don't much make. In most cases, I feel like I be doing myself a disservice by not allowing me to learn from you and you to learn from me.
Yep.
Because real. Kendrick P's younger than I don't know his exact age, but I know he's much younger than me.
Yeah.
And
he said it on the pod, but I can't.
Yeah,
remember.
it's low 30s.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I learn from everybody. At the very least, I'll learn what not to do.
Right.
So, I'm sitting there, I'm learning from him. And, I notice he's learning from me.
Yeah.
And that alone is enough of, I can't help but respect that.
I admire that part about him too, because like if you went and looked up the show, it literally it says Squint 615, former hip hop artist turned toughest critic. Right. And I've always kind of because these guys know I play that role with these guys. You know what I'm saying? Where they know they can send me a record and I'm not going to hurt their fucking feelings, but I'm going to tell them, tell them the real.
Right.
And they're not. We're fine. We're way past them saying, "Come on, Squint." It's like that shit's banging.
Right.
It ain't
that's a tough. He's a tough motherfucker. He's a tough kid,
right.
You know what I mean?
But that's what I love about Kendrick P. Because when Kendrick P came through here and he learned that title, didn't care how I got it, didn't care who the fuck was sending me records or nothing like that. He wanted to know what I thought about his records. And he started sending me records, like unreleased stuff that and valued my opinion. Yeah. Didn't know left from right. Honestly. I didn't have anything to really value that conversation as far as him being like, maybe this guy knows what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. Literally just giving myself that title. He's like, you critic music, huh? I'm gonna send you some shit. Be honest with me now. You know what I'm saying? And that literally built our relationship now to where bro, I'll get a DM from him just randomly. What do you think of this, Squints?
You gotta appreciate it. Cause in entertainment, period. Well, it ain't just entertainment. I reckon it's in everything. But if you can't take constructive criticism, creating.
Yeah, that's a winless battle, dude.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, for sure.
So any person that can take it and embody that, okay, no matter what, I'm going to receive tough criticism anyway.
Right.
So I'm gonna go at it instead of trying to avoid it or run around it. And I love it. I can dig it.
Yeah, we
Oh yeah, bro.
We have really, really enjoyed our time with you, Mr. Don Tripp.
Indeed, man.
Show, bro.
Pleasure's all mine.
Like I said, this bucket list shit, we're all humongous fans. We actually have a fourth co-host as well, not to mention Twack. He's part of our team as well.
Yeah.
But we have our young gunner. His name is Leroy Biggs. He couldn't join us tonight.
Okay.
He's been going through, he's under the weather.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
But he is beyond upset that he is not here this evening because
Leroy Biggins?
Leroy Biggs.
Leroy Biggs.
Yeah.
Okay. I named some hillbillies.
Dude, but hey, if you met this kid, man, I can't even get into describing this young gentleman. He's only 21 years of age as well.
24.
Yeah.
23?
24.
Yeah, 4. Damn, I don't know him. I don't know him at all. But just so you know, man, he's upset that he couldn't join us tonight, but obviously we can't risk everybody in the room getting fucking sick.
Right,
he knows I got babies inside, so that shit ain't happening.
Look,
bro.
I appreciate your sacrifice, Leroy Biggs.
Congratulations on the marriage, bro. I have to mention that, dog, because yeah, you're Don Tripp, and I know, if getting hitched is not like I've been with my old lady for going on 13 years this coming November.
Oh, okay.
And we're still not married.
Oh, shit.
Right? Don't that sound horrible, bro?
Well, no, not really. See, I'm not like a fucking, marriage advocate or no kind of shit
Gotcha.
like that. I think that you got to do what work for you.
Yeah.
And up until I got married, marriage wasn't in the cards. It wasn't something I had on my to-do list.
Yeah, it wasn't on the agenda or nothing.
Right.
It just...
But, shit. It was... Man, I met a person that I couldn't live without.
Yeah.
And shit, it just felt right.
I love that part of the story, though, bro. I really do.
Appreciate that.
When you break it down, that's really what it's about at the core anyway.
Yeah.
Right. And in real time, me and like my closest circle, I want to say, I mean, it was. It's probably 5 or 6. It was like, my age group. Like, of course, my brothers are my brothers, but like the people I see on a day-to-day basis, it's about 5 or 6 of us, and we're all married now.
Okay,
and we all have different kinds of marriages.
Yeah,
and even in that, like we don't do like we don't compare. We don't trade notes or no kind of shit.
Yeah,
like that.
I get it.
We old enough to understand that that we can talk to each other. Men don't really have that. So I guess we had to all get close to 40 to like reach that space with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Exactly. It's crazy how that works, but
Right.
you're spot on right now, dude.
we don't sit and do like if I buy my wife flowers every Friday.
Oh, flex, major flex. Dude, you're getting us all in trouble now, Trip. Come on now.
That's why.
Except for me, I don't.
That's what I'm leading to.
Yeah.
But I don't like when I do that. I don't call CP and say,
Right.
hey, shit, I bought flowers. What you do?
Yeah.
Their relationship work in a different dynamic.
Yeah.
In real time, even like I do that, and for me, the thought or the theory behind it is, we go through a lot of shit throughout the week. Yeah, we're married, but it's turbulent. Because it's two human beings.
Sure.
No matter what, there's no way we're gonna always be on the same wavelength.
Right.
But no matter what, at the end of the week, in real time, the end of the week is Saturday. But the flower shop don't stay open long enough for me on Saturday. I ain't an early person.
I get it. So it's every other Friday or every Friday.
Every Friday, because I'm gonna miss it if I try Saturday.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's symbolic to, like I explained to her the second time I bought her flowers. But that's to say that no matter what we've been through, that's my peace treaty.
Yeah.
We reset. Everything we've been through throughout this
Cheers
week.
to the week. Another one behind us.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
I get it.
that's our balloon, so to speak. We
Hell
made it
yeah.
through another week.
Right.
Does the flower shop got you on a net 30 yet? Where you got to pay every 30 days? They make you pay every time you call?
Man, you know what? The flower shop rock with me so tough now.
Hell yeah.
When I call, they just say
That means you buy a lot of flowers.
They just say, "What time you coming?" I've been with her for. We've been married. We've been married for a year and some change. We were together maybe a year and a half before that. So I've been buying flowers since we got engaged.
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah.
But
That's dope, though.
But I said that to say that I don't hold myself to a higher regard than my brothers because they don't buy flowers. I don't know what the fuck you do every week or period. They ain't none of my business.
Right.
And for all I know, you and your wife are at odds right now. I ain't supposed to know if y'all are.
Yeah.
But, just because we doing good and you not, don't mean, I gotta up. Because shit, tomorrow it could be vice versa.
I get it, dude.
But that's how I look at marriage. Like, I got people that's, it's like you just said, you've been with your girl 13
years.
And,
I understand what you're saying when you say I do like that weekly. Mine's changing the cat's litter.
I can dig it. Sometimes it's
my old lady love when I do that shit, bro.
But
she don't have to do it.
It's got to be. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be something that works for you. You can't go in and trying to like in real time. I'm certain there's a lot of people can't afford to buy flowers from florists every
week. No,
right? That shit get expensive.
Absolutely. I mean, that's $80 a rip, probably a hundo.
He looked.
Yeah, he looked at me crazy. There's no telling what this man's spending at the fucking shit. That's a dozen roses. Is what that is.
3 dozen roses.
See, that's major flex. And no, that's ludicrous.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't do that and compare it.
Yeah, I get it.
So when it comes to marriage, I'm not here to like encourage. Like if when you say that, I didn't look at you like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
What you
No, I get it 1,000,000%, man.
Like, if that worked, man, you gotta go with what worked.
Yeah, that works.
In real time, man.
She hates it. She hates doing that. So same with like cutting the grass and shit. That's my flex. That's the only thing that's my major contribution that I know my better half appreciates, and especially when she don't have to ask me to do it.
Good out there, man. It's looking good out there, man.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do, man. That shit you gotta. And if you go in it and in this situation doing what worked for somebody else, you setting yourself up for disaster. Shit, I'm 5'8". I'm going to court trying to dunk. Because I saw, Kobe do it or LeBron do
Right.
it. Yeah. That shit works for them.
For them,
not so much.
They're working that jumper trip.
I got to work on a lot of things.
Bankroll that motherfucker.
On the third trip down that whole court, shit, we got to work on a whole bunch of shit.
Right. Man, let's take a breath, guys. Take a break.
Man, time out.
Time out.
So eight fucking albums, man.
Yeah, true.
This calendar year, and we're in the 8th month of this year.
Yeah.
Well, when this comes out, it'll be the 1st of September is when this comes out. So are we getting one of these for the remainder of the year from Trip? Is that what this looks like, man?
I don't want to
I mean, you may be setting the stage right now, dog. I mean, this shit's.
It's, man.
Who does that?
What I'll say is I'm going to do it for as long as it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're having fun because we're having fun.
Man, so far, definitely. Man, another one of the things, like, I guess it's like my, how you say, you say I did so and so, like, what you want a cookie? So I guess my cookie, every project is my comment section. And actually, this is one of the things.
Where are we referring to? Like YouTube, or are we referring to like
everything,
Apple, or
wherever
the comments are?
Comments.
Yeah.
And this some chef had brought to my attention. He was like, "Man, I check, see the comments, and it's always all love. It's like 98% of it is love, and we're gonna get the negative comments here and there." Yeah. He was like, "Man, I never seen something have this much positive feedback."
I can believe it, man. I really can.
Excuse me. So what I do now, every time we put a tape out, I scroll. I can't see everything because it's so much. And all of the social media is only going to show you as much as, like, if I got 100 mentions in the last 2 minutes, I'm only going to see those. I ain't going to see nothing past the whatever happened. Past those 100 comments. And in real time, I don't really much need to. That's a lot of scrolling. It take a lot of focus to check out that. Yeah. But what I have grown to notice, like my confirmation that the tape resonated is not seeing the positive feedback. I appreciate the positive feedback. Like I acknowledge it. I value it. But what lets me know that the tape or what let me know that the project or the idea that I have works is the one negative comment. Because every time when I see the one negative comment, it's not creative criticism.
What is it?
Just hate.
Yeah, just hate. There's always a hater.
Right. See, I can respect if you say, hey, I ain't really like this tape because it was too laid back. I get it. That's cool. I'm not going to change what I'm doing, but I can appreciate that. Your opinion, you know how
it matters.
You have malice. You truly.
That's it.
Right. You truly listen. You thought it.
It's more aggressive. It's like aggressive criticism, though. You know what I'm saying? I understand. But when you come through just being a dickhead, that's a different story.
When you start with that shit, then that's always amusing to me. And I've grown to notice that, I got a hater base. And my hater base is just aspiring and musicians.
Ain't that funny?
And I don't, I never really get it. I don't know, like what it is that I done to make you, despise me. Like you'll go out your way.
You win.
I mean,
just taking the time to type out a sentence on is almost crazy, dog.
On some shit that you searched for.
Like you went out of your way.
You found me
to find it, hit it, and to spell everything right, look at it, confirm you're hating, and then hit send. Like, give me a fucking break,
man. I follow a lot of construction pages.
You could have just hit dislike.
I don't see any of those people on the construction pages. So that says that the things that don't interest you, you got nothing to say about. All right, so if you went out your way to tell me how horrible my music is from listening to 2 lines. You looking at a video, I said 2 lines in this clip, and you telling me I'm the worst rapper in the world.
Come on, man.
Right. That let me know in real time you got a crush on me. It's a kindergarten
right. There's
crush.
something going on here.
Right, you gonna push me off the slide instead of just saying, "Hey, man, I rock with you."
Haters just confused fans, man. And what they say.
They be looking for their reaction, man.
Right.
It's the time of clout.
Sometimes I give it to them.
Yeah.
But a lot of time, people expect you to respond to things a certain way. Like, they come at me sideways and they expected me to shoot off and snap your whole or send me your address. I'm gonna send goons to you and all that extra shit. I don't rock that way.
Bro, you grown, dude.
I'd rather attack what you call yourself attacking. Like I got it was a comment. A guy was like, he was like, if you still got to read it off the iPad, you need to give up. So I read that. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I looked at who said this. I Googled them and it showed me pictures of Jordans. So I told him, I said, well, you know, I Googled you and it's showing me pictures of shoes. So, like, you got a little more work to do for you.
Talk your shit.
You know, you taking shots. But that's what I'm saying. You know, I'd rather respond that way. Because in real time.
Puts it in perspective for them.
Right.
Fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
You a grown man. Focus on what you doing.
Yeah, what you
They're
said,
already
bro.
miserable if they're hating on you like that anyway.
Right,
so
because
crazy.
I'm not commenting on nothing. You not gonna find a video when I say, "Oh, that's how you fry your fish." That's disgusting.
Right.
No, I don't give a fuck. If I look at it and I don't like it, I scroll past it.
Yeah, man.
In real time, if I see it too many times and I don't like it, you know, I'm gonna click the 3 buttons and tell Instagram, you know,
Yeah, I don't want to see this
right,
shit.
I'm
no
not
more.
interested. Don't show me this kind of shit no more.
Yeah, get this.
Right, I don't gotta go on your shit to tell you.
Right, please
I
don't.
hate that shit.
Right.
It be the motherfuckers on there whining a whole lot.
Man,
I be like, I don't want to see no more.
And
Of
it's
this
a
shit.
bunch of people watching my pockets.
Oh,
man,
man,
some
bruh.
people trying to tell me what I make,
Dude.
tell me how I fell off because you know so and so bought a so and so. I'm like, no, this is great. That's terrific.
Terrific.
That shit, right? My mortgage is paid. I don't give no
Fuck your
fuck.
shit, bro.
All the other shit, that shit don't mean nothing.
So if we're talking about hate and comments, I can picture one right now if I don't ask this. So I have to ask this question.
You
Are we-
see no one coming. If you
Are we getting Step Brothers 4,
that
man?
was it.
You're in the Ville, bro. If I don't ask this,
Yeah, we get.
Listen, we definitely gonna get Step Brothers 4.
love it.
Right.
Can't wait.
I
But
can't give a date on it because in real time,
just the confirmation did it
in
for
real
me.
time, you know, we both fathers and Stars newer,
Yeah.
being the father. So we, you know, you don't get to do the. We gonna go and do it tomorrow.
I get it. Say
It's
less.
happening. You know, we're working. We fine tuning the situation so we can take care of it.
Love it.
That's all you need. Everybody needs to hear right there, man.
Man,
Yeah.
say
Oh
this
yeah,
shit.
we're definitely on it. And you know, Star is Star's like my brother. That shit's not. Man, listen, Star was at Piff's funeral. I didn't call to invite Star. I don't even
That's
know
real.
how he got the information. But that means he know other people in my family. In order, to reach into the family, you gotta be accepted. Same. Star was in my wedding. Star's one of my groomsmen. Star was at my baby shower. My kids know Star. When my
Shout
kids
out
were
Star,
smaller, they called him Uncle Magneto because
Okay.
they didn't register the Starlito part.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like this shit, you know, it ain't just studio. I seen Star today. It wasn't getting in it.
Remember that list I mentioned?
Yeah.
He's still on it.
Man, pull
Okay.
up.
Shout out
Okay.
Lido, man.
Yeah, shout out Lido.
See,
but
right,
we're
see,
manifesting that too.
Yeah.
It'll happen when it happens, but
indeed.
it's one we're super excited for when that day comes.
Yeah,
you
shit,
know what I
me
mean?
Too, man. Star's an insightful person.
Sure. So are you. Bro.
Yeah.
You
So
ever
are
think
you,
about
man.
pod-
Yeah,
Say it
You
again.
ever think about starting your own podcast, dog?
Man,
I'd listen to that motherfucker or write a book at least.
I like the book idea.
Yeah.
Well, I like both ideas, but when it comes to podcasting,
Consistency is key.
exactly. And right now, as you can see, you know, I'm locked in
Yeah.
in creating music. I don't think I could do both. I
Yeah.
don't think the audience really accepts both.
Right.
And I feel like
A book is serious though. You should definitely do that.
right.
And then
But-
you do it self-narrate it
Yeah.
oh, that's ill.
for Audible.
That's the only way to do it, dog.
That's the only way, bro. You know, I promise you, dude. You will capture so many ears with an Audible autobiography.
Yeah.
That's ill.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to explore that one.
And
I
then
like
that way
that idea.
you don't have to do it like with the podcast. And like I see what you're saying. That way the book you can kind of work on as you get it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
There ain't
Indeed.
It's a memoir,
Yeah.
basically. You know what I mean? And you can word it and switch it around, your own timeline. You can do it however you want. But it's something you could definitely consider. 'Cause with a creative mind that you are, like your smarts are through the roof. Like you're intellectual.
Charlie asked me about a podcast when I first met him. He asked the same question.
Okay.
I've ever thought about a podcast. But like I said, that's one of them things I don't like. Like the people that got the podcast, like, you know, once you build an audience for the podcast, that's what they're there for. They're there to listen to
Sure.
you talk. And in real time, that's really what my music is, just me talking in a rhyming cadence.
Talk your shit.
So if you start listening to me talk to you, then eventually I kind of remove the allure of listening to me rhyme.
I get it. That's a great way of putting it.
You can ask this question, and now I can tell you here, and we, versus me rapping about it, and then because in most cases, people don't really understand everything I'm saying, and in my verse, in my music, and what happens. One, you're either, I'm not, I don't use like perfect enunciation or grammar in most cases.
Gives a fuck.
Right, I'm just saying, sometimes you might misinterpret a word I said.
Gotcha.
Then sometimes whatever I was talking about, you just didn't grasp it.
Yeah. Right over their head.
Right, and in some cases, it come back around. They, on your 31st listen, like, I ain't PP said that.
I never even realized that's what he's talking about.
Right, and then
I get it, man.
in other cases, you got to grow up to know what I'm talking about, and that that's happened. Like I've noticed, like my audience is becoming younger.
That's a good thing.
Right.
Wow,
course.
That's interesting to hear.
And it's trippy for me because my music, if anything, is responsible for the most part. And in my music, it's honest, and I take accountability, whether I'm right or wrong. And young music is the complete opposite. So to see that young people listen to, I don't know what songs they listening to, but the fact that they tuned in, that means
dope.
something to me.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why it's another reason why I make sure there's always a clean edit to the music.
I noticed that.
Yep, because I don't let my kids listen to my explicit versions.
That's
I got
interesting
records.
too.
Well,
How old is your oldest to your youngest? What's that like range?
Well, I got a stepson that's turning 18 in November.
Okay.
My biological son just turned 14.
So what about the 14? Is he on explicit versions yet? Because I got
on my music is supervised. So it depend on the song.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
But what he listens to on his own, of course, is all explicit.
Right.
Yeah.
And my youngest is almost 7 months.
Okay.
But either way, when it comes to my music, like I got 5 girls, and I got records where my shit's vulgar. So my daughter ain't gonna know not to listen to this song.
I got 3. I don't know about 5.
Oh man,
God,
That's scary.
Man,
I got
Shout out
one.
Don Tripp, bro.
It's something, man. I tell you that, boy.
That's why you're goated, man.
It ain't gray.
No, I mean like goated. That's why you're like.
I know what you're saying. I'm telling you, and that's why I'm great.
Yeah, dog.
That's wisdom, bro.
Learning,
Bro, I said it earlier, man.
Crazy.
This has been like the most refreshing episode to me, man. Just the fact that Tripp pulled up on us tonight, man, and blessed us with the time you've blessed us with tonight, bro, and you gave us a glimpse of the real and just how that mind works a little bit for Don Tripp. You know what I mean? And us being such fans, bro, and we don't say that often. You know what I'm saying? Like not to just sound, to fan out or anything, bro. But this is just one of those moments. It's sort of like when Little Flip pulled up. That's kind of one of those moments too, to where we have to openly admit, bro, like we are all fucking fans.
I appreciate
Straight up, man. And we can go down these rabbit holes, and you know what I'm saying.
All different directions, man. Like
right there, but when you got somebody to come up in here, man, of that ilk. It speaks and it says something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
Motherfucker, listen, I'm over here. You been dropping jewels. I'm over this motherfucker like, okay,
Listen, bro.
Yeah.
Man.
facts.
makes sense.
But to be on the tear that you are currently, like where we are in real time, you know what I mean? Not with all the nostalgia involved with Don Tripp's name, just to fast forward to your current wave, bro.
Yeah.
And slow down for a minute and come sit with our goofy asses, bro. Like, we just really appreciate it, man.
Straight
Shout
up.
out Logan Garrett, man.
Yeah, shout out Logan Garrett.
Hey,
love that kid,
in real
man.
time, man. I wouldn't exist if I didn't have the this kind of support.
Yeah.
So when it comes to when it comes to stuff like that, like we just left. I don't know if y'all familiar with Fat Caps.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, for
See
sure.
the sticker on that board right there behind you with the flowers on it? That's Fat Cap's logo. Yeah.
Indeed. But
Shout out T.
man, T is one of them people that
He's rooted, man.
Man, T been rocking with me since before anybody knew who Don Tripp was.
Wow, okay. Fun fact.
Like I don't know how he was familiar. I don't know why he was familiar. He been rocking with me since then.
Dope.
So anytime when we in the Ville, if we got time to pull up, man, let's pull up. I don't really shop. I don't I'm not into I ain't really into fashion and shit. But when I come to the Ville,
you gonna spend with somebody. Right. I get it.
And
I totally get it.
It might be clothes, it might not work. Like, the way I rock, man, I got a lot of brothers. My cousins in real time. My biological brother was Piff, but in real time we grew up like literally. We slept in the same. We was head to foot.
Yeah,
we had to share ramen noodles. Like this shit. Yeah. It's so much deeper than being cousins. I feel like calling them cousins is discredited.
No, that's real. I got something like that.
Yeah, it's
brothers.
It's about, man, it's maybe about 10 of us as far as cousins wise. We got aunties, uncles, all that. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't know, the way we always work. Like I've been, like Piff's always been my big brother, and I've always been one of their big brothers.
Got it.
So no matter what, like I was in Fat Caps, and some of the some of these clothing lines, they some run small, some run big, some run different size. Yeah,
don't know where the designer's from, what region they're like originated from, and shit.
They was in it helping me out, and it's like, well, if you like it, some of it like looked a little too big, some of it looked too small. They was like, you can try it on if you want, and I don't mean this with any arrogance, but I don't like to do that. I don't like trying no clothes on. Mm-hmm. In real time, what happens if I'm gonna grab it if I like it, and I don't have like we grew up, you would be like, well, I'm gonna wear this to so and so party Friday. I'm grown now, I don't have any of those kind of things going on. So I don't pick a time or event to wear this to. One day I'm gonna wear it. All right, one day I might not. The way I rock, when that time comes, if I decide to wear it and I put it on, it's too big. I got a cousin that's too tall.
Right.
He can get these. They brand new. I don't give a shit. That ain't the point. But that's how I look at it when I'm shopping. I don't go to Fat Caps because now they got great shit.
Yeah. Every time I go in there, there's so many new lines. I can't keep up with it, bro.
They shit is refreshed. Like it ain't,
it'd be the hottest shit somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
a lot of that.
And you can't find it
everywhere. Like he'd be the only retailer local that's pushing products like that. Like that's what T's known for, like facts.
But the reason I go is because T always fucked with me.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna spend $1,000 on some clothes.
That's interesting you said that.
I'm gonna go spend $1,000 with T.
Yeah.
And
keep it in the family.
Rather I wear it, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. Yeah. If I don't wear it, I'm gonna keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Pass it.
And
somebody will get it. Yep. Yeah. And
shout Fat Caps, man.
That in real time, like I don't trust like public charities. I give to St. Jude. I don't disclose.
That's a good one to give to.
But that's because I know exactly
that's the real
what they doing.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know about all the other stuff. I don't get into it. I ain't out trying to, impress the fans by becoming some kind of.
Look what I did. Yeah.
Right. I ain't into none of that. The people I help, we ain't running around with banners for it.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the kind of giving back that count. Like, T ain't got, it ain't like a Fat Caps franchise.
Yeah.
There's a person that rock with me since he rock with me. Whatever I can do to help, I'm hey, that's me giving back.
He be out there too, bro. He be putting like the football team, like Una and shit. He be out there.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's my way of
giving back
as well.
Absolutely.
Shit, you trying to get it? We all trying to get it. If I can shit, like I said, it's a person who always held me down, and it's been. Like, man, when I first got in this shit, I ain't had no money to buy that shit he was selling in there.
Yeah.
He didn't give a shit, man. Here's a, your guy getting a piece, here's a piece, man.
Oh, that's real, bro.
Fuck with that. And, it ain't like, again, that kind of shit meant something. He didn't know what I would be now.
But look what it did for him. You know what I mean? Like that self-investment he provided back then, it built a relationship that you're talking about like X amount of years later.
And like you said, people see that shit before you.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I mean.
Shout out to you, man. So, there's a lot of people I've been able to hear over my years, like local living here, like tell like similar scenarios that you just described about T from Fat Cap's, almost down the same lane, but just from a different person and a different scenario and that kind of, but he seems like a super solid guy,
and that's
man.
the kind of stuff, like
I don't know him personally.
Like I said, I learned from everybody. And, you know, from experiencing that kind of shit, that's how I operate. That's how our family operates. Yeah. So when I'm moving, that's how we rock. You know, I rock with the people that rock with me. Yeah. That appreciation is, you know, if you appreciate me, I can't help but appreciate the appreciation you got for me.
Well, hopefully we've made it clear how much we appreciate you this evening.
Indeed. Because I was already fairly familiar. Because that was my guy Logan. That was his pitch. He was like, man, they rock with you. I don't like doing interviews with people that have no interest in me.
Oh, yeah.
Noted. Y'all pay attention.
Like, you know, I'm past it. You know, that first shit, you trying to get known and shit. Yeah. And you do all the interviews and everybody's asking you what city you come from and all that. Tell me something about yourself shit.
Yeah.
I did that shit already.
Yeah, right.
I ain't into doubling back for that.
I totally get it.
And then you got the interviews that's just, you know, all shock value. Like, I don't want to do an interview talking about another person I don't even know. You know,
I get it, man.
You ask me about so and so's relationship and shit, and that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah. But that happens because those people not actually interested in me, interested in having an interview. So, you know, I only rock with the people that, you know, the questions you asking me, you actually want to know.
Absolutely.
You're not sitting asking, well, you know, what do we ask everybody? And ask me the same shit. That, you know.
With you, it's almost been like we've been waiting on the call, and when we got the call, I was like, "Well, I don't need to study nothing. I know, you know."
We got away from it though, man. I mean, in reality, even when we get caliber artists like yourself, I mean, you know, we're humans. We get nerves and everything else that go through, and we start trying to like strategize about how we handle these type scenarios. But we've learned over the 200 plus episodes we have now, bro, we just jump in and start paddling, bro. Like we're going to get to shore. We're going to get there. But it seems like when the less we try to do that, like the less structure we have.
Again, it's when you go in, you know, organic, you can take a pair of shoes, you can polish and shine that bitch until it's perfect. And what's going to happen, you're going to wear the leather out before you find the perfect shine you're looking for. And, you know, any kind of creative space, I think, is the same way. Like, you go in and you try and make this shit perfect.
Yeah, dude, that ain't the way.
Perfect ain't what we want.
Organic is what's working.
Man, listen,
repetitiveness.
People want organic shit so much that they buy fake organic shit.
Man, what you said. Ain't that some shit?
And you know, to show that they're eating.
Look at me.
Man, people watch reality TV.
I'm eating fake real shit. Man, or watching fake real shit.
You watching reality television and nothing in it is reality, but you want to feel like you watching something organic.
That's it.
And you can create your own reality, like you got your own reality.
Exactly. That shit is dangerous. Like when people get to talking about, you know what I mean, like my reality and like different realities and shit like that right there, man. Yeah. Different truths. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more than one truth. Yeah. Or like it's kind of dangerous, man. That shit can cause some issues, but
no, for sure, man. Yeah.
So, not doing a lot of podcast interviews. How you feel about your experience? That I got some shit to say. You good, Trip?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, bro.
I hope so, bro.
I appreciate the hospitality.
Well, we tell each and every one of our guests, but I got to make it. Don't let me say what you got to say. What were you going to say? I felt like I cut you off.
No.
We tell each and every one of our guests, man, when you find yourself in that seat, anytime you got some more shit to say, the seat is yours. So indeed. You let us know when you're in the city. If you all want to pull back up, bro. Chef, maybe you sit down with us next time, bro. We'll do it like that. You know what I mean? Bring your friend Lito. We'd enjoy that one too. But we're excited to continue to watch you win, Trip. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate everything you're doing. We appreciate every song you put out for us to listen to and enjoy as consumers. Not only do we appreciate that, but your time this evening and just the humbleness you possess as a character, bro. The vibes are great. Like, you're just a great dude, bro. And we've had about 2 hours with you, and that's fucking awesome. 2 hours I never thought I would get.
I don't know where you just saw the time, man.
It's that little red bar at the top over there recording. It says 1 hour and 52 minutes. That's how long we've been doing this. Does it feel like that long?
No.
Hell no.
I don't much keep track of time.
But they all hate us. I was just fucking with you, man.
Oh, so they chill. They have
it's been a great conversation, man. But that's what I'm saying. Just
anytime you want to do it again, my friend, we're here. You know what I'm saying?
Get that new tape, man.
Get one of them. You know what I mean? When this is out, there's fucking 8 of them now.
Yeah.
You can't miss with Don Tripp. Tap the fuck in. The catalog is extensive at this point.
Yeah, one of my haters said I make regular music for regular people. And I said, you damn right,
man.
That's a compliment. Like he thought he was.
I mean,
he was. He definitely was hating.
That's the smartest hater I've heard of.
Somebody was like, you know, he the hardest, illest, whatever. He like, yeah, whatever. He he good at making regular music for regular people. Yeah, I'm like, well, shit, okay, I appreciate it.
What a goofy.
What's so funny is they wrote that thinking they were like going to
being smart. That'll show him.
He's relatable.
Right.
Now they watch the podcast. They're like, he's talking about me.
Right.
Shit.
Indeed,
bro.
Go get that new tape.
I'm relatable again.
What's the name of the new one?
The Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, that's crazy because it's not out yet, and it comes out. It's the time warp. It fucks with our heads.
Friday,
Me too. Yeah, Don Tripp. We appreciate you, Bubba.
Indeed, man.
Long live Piff too. Man.
Long live Piff. Yeah, that's the name of the episode too. But yeah, if you guys are unfamiliar, you're familiar now. We appreciate you and everything you do, man. Hopefully you can join us again soon.
Indeed.
Y'all know the deal. Down there on the end is ChadArmesTV. My guy ONE, our new friend Don Tripp. I'm Squint615. It's IGotSomeShitToSay.com, ChadArmesTV.com. Hey, yo, Chatty, get us out of here. Wow.
Bitch, we got views.